Aikwe, Neknamalita, and this is my channel, The Midnight Librarian. And today, I have something new for you. In all reality, this is going to be my June TBR. And really, like, if you're watching this, you know the title. Pokemon cards are going to pick my TBR. So this is a new thing that I hope to be doing, that I'm really excited for. Reason being is that, so June is my birthday month. Day is June 5th. And for an early birthday present, my brother got me this pack of Pokemon cards. So this is literally like one of those things that you would see in like Target or anywhere you get trading cards. I typically see them in Target. I have also seen them in comic book shops as well as other places. Each of these are individually wrapped. Ignoring the waste this is going to cause, I'm also just really excited that they were in fact all individually wrapped like this, because I've had this idea for a while and just never got around to doing it. So with him gifting this to me as an early birthday present, a 35 pack. It did originally have 36 in them, but I ended up opening up one of them, one to satisfy his own curiosity, but as well as I was kind of testing this out. So, and I think I have it, and I'm really excited to do this. So this is what I'm going to start doing for my TBRs. There are, I believe, 10 cards in each of these packs. These packs in particular are the Sword and Shield Evolving Skies packs. So what I'm going to be doing is basically just opening one pack a month, and that will help determine my TBR. I have a prompt for each type of Pokemon, so which I will go over, as well as the energy cards and the trainer cards. And there's special little prompts for any cards that are holographic or reverse holo. So let's get into the prompts. I have prompts for each type of Pokemon. So if you didn't know, each Pokemon is typically a type, but some of them are dual types. I even think some of them can be triple types, which will be interesting if I do ever pull those, to try to figure out the prompts for those. But in the meantime, they're typically this one in particular is Sigilyph, who is a psychic type. So each one has typically their colors of the card match the type, and as well as the little icon up here. So we'll go by that, rather than these here, which are just the type of moves that they have. There are 18 types of Pokemon. So I'll go through them really fast. Normal is a contemporary read. A lot of these prompts, I think most of these prompts are going to be very loose based. There's like a very loosey-goosey prompt. There's not anything specific. Just because I wanted something loose, because I'm more of a mood reader, and for the last couple of months I've been doing readathons, and so I just kind of wanted something a little more loose based, but some structure. Fire is going to be a book that everyone is talking about, so a popular read at the current moment. I feel like that's ever changing. It could also be a popular read that is no longer really talked about, but you remember people talking about. Just whatever you want to do. I act like that you're going to do this with me. You're more than welcome to if you want to. I can have a list of the prompts if you want down in the description down below. Water is basically a book set in or around water. Grass is going to be a book that feels summery. Electric is a quick read, whatever that means to you. Ice is going to be a thick book, so for me that's something that's over 300 pages. Yes, I would like to like push it to tomes, but I don't want to pressure myself into doing that either. So fighting is going to be dual perspective. Now I understand that some books it's really kind of hard to know that before you go in, but that's what I'm going off of. Poison is going to be a murder mystery. Round is a book about or set on Earth. fairly simple. Flying is a small book, so less than 200 pages. Psychic is going to be a thriller. In my mind, I kept going to psychological thriller, but it doesn't have to be that. I'm liking the thought of like broadening it out to just thriller in general. Bug is a book that you've been avoiding. Rock is a heavy read, literally or figuratively, just because I know that with some formats are different throughout all books, and so some books, even though they're not actually over 500 pages or don't seem very big, can like literally be very heavy. So it can be literally such as that, or figuratively as in like heavier topics. Ghost is going to be paranormal. Dark is going to be horror. Dragon, fantasy. Steel is going to be nonfiction. Fairy is going to be a library book. And then, of course, with every deck of cards, there is going to be energy cards. So they're often this with the type of energy. So this one is electric. And for that, I'm going just as broad of just like if you pull one of these, basically you're trying to find a book that has this color on the cover. And then also part of the decks are trainer cards. Like you can get some of the same ones, or some of them can be very different from each other. But basically they are ones to help you. It's been a really long time since I've actually like played Pokemon cards. Mostly I've always just collected them. It's actually been a really long time since I've been collecting them. So really trainer cards to me are more just a support for the trainer. So in this case, it would be you, the reader. And in that case, I'm having trainer cards be mood reads. And then, so with each pack, there tends to be at least one holographic. So it could be a holographic, which is where the picture, sorry, I have this in a sleeve, where the illustration itself is holographic. In which case, for that case, you're going to match the type with the type prompt with the holographic prompt, which the holographic prompt is really easy. It's just most anticipated. Reverse holographic, and this one's interesting because it's a trainer holographic, which I haven't seen before. So, but that means a reverse holo is where the illustration itself isn't holographic, the card is. And if that's the case, it's going to be that. So this is technically a mood read because it's a trainer card, but because it's reverse holo, it's going to be a backlist title. So reverse holo is backlist. And I think that's basically it. Yes, I could get more into depth for these prompts, but for the time being, this is kind of what I want. It's kind of like a loosey-goosey type deal. I just don't want to get complicated right now. So this is what it is currently. If you would like to participate, please feel free. I think it's going to be really fun, whether it's with your own cards or if you just want to base it off the cards that I pulled today. Great. Just let me know. I just want to know. And if you make a video of it, I want to see it, or a blog or whatever. I'd just like to see it. So I've seen other Pokemon themed readathons and prompts before, but it wasn't solely focused on the cards. It was always focused on gyms or whatever. So I created these prompts to match these Pokemon, and I'm just really excited. So I've had this idea for a bit, and yeah, just never got the chance to go get Pokemon cards. And then recently, I think as of Christmas, because I realized that yes, they're still selling Pokemon cards, because I haven't gotten any in years, like years, probably 20 years. So the fact that they're still making these is really exciting. And so I had gotten some for my sister and my brother for Christmas. And my partner had got me some for Christmas as well, because he noted that I was giving them out and figured I would like some too, and I really did, and I really enjoyed it. So for my birthday, my brother got me some because he got me this huge pack. I figured it'd be a cool series. So let's just get started with it with my first pack. And I hear there's a way to be able to like open and organize this pack so you're not spoiled for the holographic one, but and I need to realize that like right off the bat, if you open them, like it's gonna be facing you. So I just kind of spoiled myself for that. So we'll go do that first one. So on the top here is just trading cards online, which I'm gonna get rid of, but I'm gonna keep them like this. And I know what this one is already, but I'm just gonna go ahead and flip it. Summery. So it's electric, so that is a quick read. So whatever that means to me. So for electric, it's going to be a quick read, and for that I'm going to do a reread of The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. This is a graphic novel that basically is a fantasy world where we are getting to know about the Tea Dragon Society. Tea dragons are little bitty dragons that end up growing tea leaves on their bodies, and you can collect them and make tea. But they are a dying breed of dragon, and so the caretakers for these tea dragons are also dwindling. And I've read this before. It's fantastic. The artwork is absolutely stunning and soft and just light and fluffy, and it's so cute, and like the characters are really diverse, which I absolutely enjoy as well. It's just so cute, and I really want to reread it because I feel like as we're heading into summer, it's just going to be delightful. So that is what I'm glad, and like Mareep kind of fits with this, I feel like. So there is 10 cards in each one, which like I hope I can read all those cards, read all the prompts that come with that, but if you know me and my trying to complete my TBRs, it doesn't always happen. So next card is, so this is a trainer card. So this is a mood read. So I know which one I want to do. So I hauled this last month in May. Now it's May. In April, and that is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. And basically, we are following an orc who wants to get out of being a warrior, and wants to create a coffee shop. That's all I really know about it. And here it's going to be like it's going to be difficult for this orc warrior to make a coffee shop. But the cover is absolutely darling, and I believe this is sapphic. I'm not entirely sure though, but if it is, that's like perfect for Pride Month. Let's go to our next one. Which is a Vigoroth, which is the second stage of Slackoth. So this is a normal type, and normal is a contemporary. And for that, I'm actually going to do a library book, which I'm going to hold up here briefly and then put the picture up here of the cover because it's an interlibrary loan. It has a sticker on it from the from the lending library, which okay, but it also has a book band on it from my own library. So thank you to Salt Lake County Library Magna branch for sending me this. But this is Delilah Green Doesn't Care. This is, I believe, another sapphic romance that is contemporary, but basically we are following Delilah Green, who moved away from Bright Falls because she had a lonely childhood there. She doesn't really connect with anything there, and now she is a professional photographer and is called back to Bright Falls to be the photographer for, I believe, her sister's wedding, stepsister. And not that she really necessarily wanted to do it. It looks like she was pressured to and guilt tripped, and the 5-figure check helps. But then she meets Claire Sutherland, one of Astrid's stuck-up besties, and decides that maybe there's some fun and a little retribution to be had in Bright Falls, because I guess like she was aware of Claire before, and Claire has been married, but is now divorced, and now there seems to be like a spark. So yeah, that's what I'm going with normal contemporary. Next is a fire, so that's Pyroar, who is the evolution of Lilio. So I think that's the other thing, is like some of these I'm not aware of because I was more into Gen 1 and 2 and some of Gen 3, but some of these newer generations I have no idea. But yeah, this is fire, so it's a book everyone is talking about. So whether that's current or previously, with that, I'm gonna go with Finlay Donovan is Killing It by Ellie Casamano. So yeah, everyone has been talking about this. I was feeling some FOMO, and so bought it and hauled it. I am wanting to get to it. I enjoyed this cover for the most part. So yeah, I just want to know what all the hype is about. I just want to know. So that is what's going with my fire. This is a book that is following Finlay Donovan. who is a writer and is talking in like very broad terms about her new book to her agent. But I believe she writes like mystery thrillers or something like that. So like when she's talking very broadly about it, someone mistakes her new work as her being a hit woman, and so wants to hire her to kill her husband. So and she I think goes for it because she's actually going through a divorce right now and needs the money. So that's all I'm aware of it. That's all I really want to know for it, and that's what's going to work for the fire prompt of a book everyone is talking about. I don't think everyone's talking about it currently at the moment, but like the second book of this came out and I think everyone was talking about that, and the third just got announced or like the cover release. So I think it's still relevant. Even if it wasn't, I think like the fact that it was talked about at a later point or earlier point in time is perfectly fine too. So next. Awesome, so that is an energy. So I'm looking for a cover that is purple, which is not a common color. So I think I'm gonna have to look at this. So for this psychic, focus on me. For this psychic energy card, I am going to go with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which is a graphic novel by Kelly Thomas, Veronica Fish, Andy Fish, and Mac Morelli. So I've read a couple of Sabrina. I think I've only read one. No, I don't remember. There used to be like these ones that were like the thin comic books that I used to be able to find at the grocery store on the reservation at one point. And then I think a couple years ago through Kindle Unlimited, I was able to read like a darker version of Sabrina that really was reminiscent of the Netflix adaptation. I remember watching like the Nickelodeon Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which I absolutely loved at the time. But looking at it now, I'm just like, oh my goodness, that was cheesy. But this one looks like it has some really fun art. Yeah, it's basically just another adaptation of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Sabrina is trying to make the best of being the new girl in a town, which so far includes 2 intriguing love interests, an instant rivalry, a misfit that could turn into a BFF, and trying to save the high school and maybe the world from crazy supernatural events. So I think this will be fun. It'll be a nice short read. So yeah. Oh damn, that is like full on holographic, and that's awesome. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. It's Umbreon, which is a evolution of Eevee. It's like the darker one. What is this? This is dark. So that's horror. Which I didn't exactly plan on doing for June, but I mean, I could get on board with this. So this is a gorgeous card. Now wait, is this actually holographic? Is the whole thing considered holographic? I think so. Yeah, that whole thing is holographic. So not only is the illustration, but so is the card itself. So for that, what do I go with? Dark is horror, and I think for this I'm going to do a May rollover that I wasn't able to get to, and that is Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra. This one we follow a group of friends who end up going to Japan for like a celebration for a marriage, I believe. They are staying in a haunted house where the bride was killed and buried, and so were her bridesmaids to keep her company, and she's still seeking company. So I've heard mixed things about this. A lot from what I've heard of people were a little disappointed by it, and I just kind of want to see where I fall on that. So that's what I'm going to go with this. Okay, next. Is that another? That is a reverse holo for fire. So that is a Victini, which I have not heard of before, but it is a reverse holo. So it's fire, which is a book that everyone is talking about. And in this case, it has to be a backlist book. Finley Donovan would have worked for this, I feel like. So there's a couple I could have chose from, but I think I'm gonna go with There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This one I recently hauled back in April, and I think it's been a couple years since everyone's been talked about it, which I think is fine. That's what the point of this was. But it's been almost a year since Makani Young came to live with her grandmother, and she's still adjusting to her new life in rural Nebraska. Then, one by one, the students of her high school begin to die in a series of gruesome murders, each with increasing and grotesque flair. As the body count rises and the terror grows closer, will Makani survive the killer's twisted plan? So yeah, I think it's been a couple years since people have been talking about this. I think I've seen a couple of booktubers read this recently. But yeah, at one point I remember quite a few people talking about it. When was this published? In 2017. So yeah, it's a backlist. So yeah, that's what's going to be for this Reverse Holo Victini Fire card. Okay, next. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's a dragon, right? This is Dino. Yeah, this is a dragon card. So that is a fantasy. Also didn't expect that. Okay, I haven't even hauled this one yet, and I'm not sure if I really... This one scares me because it's huge looking. But why not? Actually, looking at the font, it's not that bad, but it is over 300 pages. In fact, it's over 500. Not by much though. So for the Dino Dragon card, which is fantasy, I am going to pick up Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan. This cover is absolutely gorgeous. And let's see. There are many legends about my mother. Raised on the moon, Xing Yin was unaware she was being hidden from the celestial emperor, who exiled her mother for stealing the elixir of immortality. But when her magic flares and Xing Yin's existence is discovered, she is forced to flee her home, leaving her mother behind. Alone, powerless, and afraid, Xing Yin makes her way to the celestial kingdom, a land of wonder and secrets. In disguise, she trains alongside the emperor's son, mastering archery and magic, despite the passion which flames between them. To rescue her mother, Xing Yin embarks on a quest, confronting legendary creatures and vicious enemies, but when forbidden magic threatens the kingdom, Xing Yin must challenge the ruthless emperor, leaving her torn between losing all she loves or plunging the realm into chaos. So yeah, this is a chunker, but yeah, I'm putting it on for the dragon prompt. Oh, this is already kind of intimidating of a pile, and we still have 3 cards left. Okay. Oh, awesome. This is Hoppip, and that's a grass Pokemon, so that is a book set in or feels Summery. Actually, this is perfect. I'm going to go with the second book in the Tea Dragon Society series, and that is the Tea Dragon Festival. So I actually don't know if this is set in summer or not, but the artwork reminds me of summer, the cover in particular. Yeah, this is the sequel to the Tea Dragon Society, in which there's a Tea Dragon Festival. I feel like I may have read this before, but like looking at it, I have no recollection. Excuse me, I have no recollection of doing so. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. And that will be a very much needed reprieve from all these other books. Tentacool. So this is a water Pokemon. So therefore a book about or set about or around water. And for that, I'm going to go with another one that I haven't yet hauled, but I really want to read, and that is Deep Light by Frances Hardinge. But God, just look at that cover. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But we are on the jumbled streets of the island of Ladies Crave live Hark and his best friend Jelt. They are scavengers living off their wits, diving for relics of the gods, desperate for anything they can sell. But now there is something restless stirring beneath the waves, calling for someone brave enough to retrieve it, something valuable, something dangerous. Nothing is quite as it seems, and when the waves try to claim Jelt, Hark will do anything to save him and the islands that he loves, even if it means a death-defying journey into the strange dark light of the undersea to face not only who his friend has become, but what. So yeah, that is my water pick. I'm excited for it. Last card. What is that? Oh, it's another dark. Okay. So this is Zorua, which is a dark Pokemon, so that is another horror. Okay, so this may be stretching it just a bit, but I've been wanting to read this. So for the horror prompt of, or dark prompt of reading a horror book, I want to read the Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. I understand that this is more of a mystery thriller, but there's, I believe, horror and paranormal elements to it. Basically, we are on two different timelines, but basically we are following a true crime blogger who gets more than she bargained for while interviewing the woman acquitted of two cold case slayings in Oregon. So that's all I know. That's all I want to know. I've been wanting to read it. Yeah. So it's probably a bit of a stretch, but Goodreads has it as a horror. Not one of the top, but it's in horror. So that's what I'm hoping. Okay. This is a stack. So yeah, I knew this was going to be, this is going to be a bit of a stretch because yes, each pack comes with 10 cards. And that's a lot. Well, I'll have to see if I can find some of these as audiobooks because that's mainly how I read a lot during the month. But this is my TBR stack for the month of June, which I'm not unhappy about. I really think this will be fun. If you've enjoyed this, like, let me know down in the comments down below. If you are going to do something similar, if you want to follow along, then like let me know what your TBR is or what you ended up getting. I personally really still enjoy Pokemon. I still have yet to finish Sword and Shield. I'm at the last like legendary Pokemon boss thing, and just haven't been able to figure out how to beat it. But yeah, I have been a Pokemon fan, and the fact that I've had this idea and like was trying to figure, like, just kind of waiting on it for some reason or another, and only to have my brother give me this, I think is really, really cool. So hopefully I'll be able to do this for a while, considering now there is still 34 packs that I can unwrap. So we'll see. But so far I'm enjoying this. I'll leave prompts down in the description down below if you want to do it yourself. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about how this turned out. So yeah. Yeah, I hope that you were in the mental mindset to enjoy your reading, and I will see you in another video very soon. Chew.